Yes, everyone, welcome to Full Time Devils. My name is Stephen Howson, joined by Abdullah, who has come straight back from Paris last night. Arcade, talk to me about that trip, because that was unreal, wasn't it?
It was just in pure disbelief at the end of that. Like, it couldn't have gone any better.
It couldn't have gone any better.
We won it was a joke. Like, it's the fact that in your head, when it's impossible and you go on and win it, it just makes it 10 times better. And for me, there was a lot of confident Reds when I got there. People saying 3-1 and they think it'll be a tight game, and I thought it would be like a 3-2. I thought we might actually have a decent chance of winning it. I just didn't think we'll go 3. I thought they'd score the goals to deny us from obviously going through.
I felt like 1-1 before the game. I thought it was like 1-1,
something tight like that.
Yeah, and I'd have been happy with that, more or less. I think I'd have been fairly content to go with like, under the circumstances, going down fighting. We put in a valiant effort. Well done, lads. You kept hold of your pride at least, and I think a lot of us would have probably been the same way, wouldn't we? That we'd have been happy. Not happy to lose, not happy to go out, but happy with how the team's performed under the circumstances.
At the same time, a lot of people had the same thought when we were going down there. Loads of people just said they want to see an effort, they want to see progress on the pitch, and not just sitting back and taking it all in. Obviously from Paris, and it sort of did happen like that. But there's not much you can fight with. You got Verratti in midfield, you got Marquinhos, you got world class players.
Top draw.
We were right at the top of their game. You've got Champions League experience, and you got the likes of Greenwood and Chan coming off the bench for us, and that's what made it so much better. Like, in the crowd, I was right. Like, I was literally, as Marcus scored the goal, I'd gone to the forward row, and I was right at the bottom. Everyone was piling up on top of me. But like, I noticed when Delo jumped over and Chong and Greenwood and Marcus Rashford, and you just think like, wow, this is like an unbelievable moment.
I don't know when the last time I felt like that watching United, because even though winning the Europa League was great, winning the FA Cup recently was great, we expected to win those matches.
Definitely, yeah.
So I think that because we expected to win those matches, the euphoria at the end and the manner of the victory it wasn't the same as the carnage we saw. We've got a lot of newspapers here, and we're going to go through some of what the papers are saying, and if you like this video, maybe we'll do it a little bit more often, so let us know in the comments. Make sure to share the thing and all the rest of that sort of stuff, and we'll get into these in a little bit. But I just want to talk about the match a little bit. We had 28% possession, which I think that must have came towards the back end of the game, because at parts it was 20% possession. We had a seriously depleted team. Marcus wasn't getting on the ball much. Romelu wasn't getting on the ball much. He had 2 shots. He has 2 goals. That is what you want from your striker. There was times when Di Maria goes through and chips David De Gea, and you're just like, it's over.
I've seen that from our side, because you can't see if it's offside or not, especially because second half I'd ended up going a little lower when we were shooting towards the other end, so I couldn't, in my head I was like, no, not Di Maria out of all people. And then I was so glad to see the linesman pull that up, man. So glad.
Especially because they're late because of the VAR stuff as well. Now
that was mental.
Just all the way through, I remember saying 89 minutes, we've no right to be in this fight, and we're in the fight, and it was a real air of inevitability that we was gonna get a chance. I knew we was getting a chance. I wasn't worried. I'm looking at the clock ticking down, and I'm just thinking someone's gonna have a chance. It's whether they take it or not. Delo takes that shot, and then it didn't seem weird when they went to VAR. It almost felt normal that they went to VAR. And I was saying to everyone in here, like, they're going to VAR because they've already seen it. So I wasn't panicking. I was like, they're giving this. They're absolutely giving this.
I thought, so from our start, I thought that it was a free kick on the edge of the box or something, because basically in the ground the screens go off. You're not allowed to see the game. The screens in the Paris' ground are pretty good, to be fair, and you can see the game well, but they go straight off and it says VAR penalty review. So obviously I'm like, what happens here if it's on the edge of the box? Free kick. I was like, it's probably a free kick from what I was saying. And then he points to the penalty and he's walking up. I'm like, when he started walking up and he done that, and I was like, this guy's giving the penalty now. And mate, I couldn't. Do you know what happened when I was watching that penalty? I was like, I just froze. So I was watching like the net. I wasn't watching Marcus hitting it. I was just watching the goal, because I was like, this is not real.
I was pretty confident of him running up, because I know that Marcus is very direct and he was just going to smash it. And I'm thinking that's always a pretty decent take with a penalty. What worried me was when he stuttered. I went, oh no.
I don't like that middle run up as well. I don't feel that run up is. It's just like sometimes you get a sense of the run up. But
the run up was very reminiscent of the one Ronaldo missed in the Champions League final. Very reminiscent. It was less of a stutter, but like Buffon
had gone to the side,
buried it
to the bottom corner, thinking he's going to do the World Cup. You know, right in the bottom because he's probably studying.
It's the only penalty you've got to see from Marcus.
So exactly, I know that was a brilliant penalty. But
before Full-Time Devils, you know that there was one when he was 16, I think, in a FA Youth Cup game. I think it was against Reading. That's on there from about 5 years ago.
Bloody hell.
I honestly, I don't even know how to begin to even analyse that game. We got dominated. We got absolutely dominated, but we won the game.
There was nothing.
It wasn't just that we won the game, we won the tie as well. Because that would have been, if we'd have lost 2-1 yesterday, given everything else, I'd have been like well proud of the lads today. I thought we've shown a lot today that we can build on going forward. But then 91st minute and the balls on Marcus Rashford to step up and bury that thing. I was so
I didn't even know what minute it was. It was like, so it ended up finished like 99th or something. We thought it was like 4 minutes added on or something mental. We like, when's it gonna? We didn't know. That's what made it better for the fans because there wasn't a countdown for it. It was just.
I can't even wrap my head around it. I'm not even 100% sure it happened.
Yeah, that's how
it's only the fact that other people that are telling me it happened that makes me think maybe it did happen.
People are telling me like, oh, who do you want next? And I'm like, I still can't believe we've gone through. It's just unreal, man.
It's mad, isn't it? Lads in the comments, get in the comments. We're going to come to you guys in the comments as well. Like, what was your favourite part of that last night? I mean, I think I've destroyed this laptop. Most of the keys aren't working at the moment. After Lukaku scoring a minute in, we went there thinking, do you know what? Realistically, we've got a chance if we need to go and we can get an early goal. So we go and we get the early goal, and it's like,
I think everything went according to the script because we were never going to keep the ball so well with that midfield. Even though when Fred got on the ball, especially in the second half, I thought his passes were meaningful. I thought McTominay, who was my man of the match, his passes were meaningful when he won the ball. He won, I think, the most tackles on the pitch as well. Andreas was picking up decent areas, struggling at times, but they were finding the right passes and keeping us in the game. And I think because you get the early goal in the first couple of minutes, because everything goes your way, once, like you said, if you keep yourself in that chance in the last 10 minutes, it can happen, but it still wasn't real.
Didn't Ollie say something like, we're playing for the last 5 minutes of the game, last 10 minutes of the game, something like that? But like I said, there was a real air of inevitability that there was just, you almost knew the subs, what was going to happen, and you knew how that flow of the game was, and Paris reacted, taking off a forward for a defender, and you're just like, it just feels like it's going to happen. Right, so we've got newspapers here, we've got the MEN, wouldn't have been my choice, but we have got the MEN, and it's the usual clickbait nonsense from the MEN in newspaper format. United ratings. De Gea gets a 6, Young gets a 5, Smalling and Lindelof get an 8, Bay gets a 1, Luke Shaw gets a 6. I thought Luke Shaw was fantastic, by the way.
Arguably as well, he's in with a shout.
McTominay and Pereira get a 5, especially McTominay not feeling that at all. Fred gets an 8. Marcus gets a 7. I mean, Marcus gets a 10 for his bleeding penalty alone, honestly. And Lukaku gets a 9. Now, we also have got Henry Winter's ratings as well, for a little bit more sanity, because that feels like mega overreactionary. A 1 for Bay. Yeah, he was probably the worst player that we had on the pitch, but a 1 wasn't really a 1, was it? He was contributing to some other stuff.
From where I was sat, I could see that the position between him and Young wasn't great, and it wasn't just down to Bayern.
No, it wasn't. No,
I think he didn't do well because he should have done better for that Bernat goal, because that was his guy. When the Maria Bernat doubled
both times in both legs, really, that he should have done better with the cross coming across.
Yeah, definitely same situation.
Let's have a look what the Times is saying then. With I think these are Henry Winters. So he's given De Gea a 7, whereas the MEN give it a 6. Yeah.
So it's by. Is it?
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. It says Tony Cascarino on top of these. Maybe it is. Yeah. Eric Bay gets a 4.
So that's even 3, 4, like, because
unfamiliar position, crazy amount of pressure on him.
Yeah,
I wasn't too bad with it. Chris Smalling and Lindelof get an 8, which is the same as what they got in the MEN. And I thought they cut brilliantly. I thought Chris Smalling last night was fantastic.
I think they both won all their tackles as well.
Luke Shaw gets an 8 as well, and I agree with that.
Yeah. I might even push it to a 9. You know, because he had, I think, completed the most take-ons on a pitch, and when he was driving the ball forward, there's just something with Luke Shaw where he's doing this Marcelo thing now, where he's coming into midfield, and he's actually, I feel like he's influencing the game a lot more. I don't know how you could give him anything below an 8, because that's just stupid.
Ashley Young got a 7, and I think I agree with that. He says found it hard at first, but he grew into the game and showed some good leadership. Yeah,
I think I agree on that. At the start, watching him, I was so worried for that side.
The position of Imambe was doing my head.
Him and Delo worked it right around.
McTominay gets an 8. I agree with that.
Yeah, push it to an 8.
Fred gets a 7, so does Pereira. Lukaku gets an 8, and so does Marcus. I think they're really fair ratings, to be honest.
See,
really
in the overall game, you give Rom a higher rating than Marcus, but in that moment,
the match winning
alone,
I mean, in the end, you used to be great. I'm just so disappointed in you. I'm not even angry. I'm just disappointed. And we've also got what is this one? I don't even know what this one is. Independent, is it? I don't know what it is.
I think it is. Yeah, it's the Independent. It's right out front.
Yeah, I think it is the Independent. And we've got here, I think this is Sam Cunningham. Give Ollie the job now. Is it anyone in the comments, any of you lot that's sitting there in the comments now, disagreeing with give Ollie the job now? Because we've gone through this from, I think we were saying it after a few games, and people are like, you've beat Cardiff and Huddersfield, relax. Okay, so what happened when we beat Spurs and Arsenal? You beat Spurs who were in bad form, and you beat Arsenal. Okay, then we beat Chelsea. Chelsea are rubbish anyway. And then, you know, with all the injuries that we had, Liverpool, we draw with Liverpool. Okay, and no plaudits for that, because it was a draw at home. We should have got the win, really, to be celebrated. Can you not now say you've only played Paris St Germain? You can't. You
got lucky is my favourite one. I don't think a team's ever.
How would you have a perfect away record and win 9 on the bounce, which Fergie and Matt Busby never even got close to, and be lucky?
I want to know how we can turn up and give just 2 Champions League debuts like that, and just like absolutely.
What a night to make your debut from Mason Greenwood. That night in Paris. Now, 109 teams have gone down by 2 goals in the first leg at home. And do you know how many have got through in the next day, in the second leg? 1, us. In the history of the Champions League, 109 times it's happened, and we've got through once. Solskjaer's breaking records all over the gaff. Lukaku even getting 2 goals in 3 consecutive games. First time it's happened since Ronaldo 13 years ago. What?
And you got to look at the calibre of the teams that he's playing, because Southampton and Palace weren't pushovers, were they? And you got the goals there, and then you come to Paris, you take the only chances you got. Mental, mate. It's almost too good to be real, you know.
Yeah, I've got a question for you lot. Does losing to Paris now not count? Can we say Ollie's undefeated? Because it was only half time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only half time, doesn't count.
Because you won the tie at the end of the day.
Yeah, it just counts one game.
I am almost lost for words with what you do. I mean, the give Ollie the job now. Is there anybody in the comments? Let's just say it. Is there anyone in the comments that says no? Let's wait.
I think there was a lot of people where, had the job been given to like a Zidane and he stepped in and he did well, a lot of people would have been like, oh yeah, give him the job instantly after a few games. But with Ollie, everyone was just like, oh yeah, you're just doing it for the sake of the romance. Like,
well, yeah, I thought there was a lot of romance in his appointment, but
there is. But
the records he's broken,
the football
they're undeniable.
The football we're playing, the records he's breaking, you know, turning up.
What would Pep and City do with 10 first-team players missing, apart from probably spend another 900 million?
Collapse, mate. They lost Fernandinho and they collapsed in 2-3 games in the league.
No Paul Pogba, no Juan Mata, no Ander Herrera, no Matic. All of these key senior officials, players. Oh, I mean, get some questions in the comments, and we'll come to them in a second and see what all you lot are saying in there. But I'm totally blown away.
Yeah.
The ability to be giving debuts out to 17-year-olds in those circumstances and pulling it off. It is mental. It's absolutely mental. L12 says we still need some new transfers to compete. And I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with that. Now, there's a little bit of talk heating up about Wan-Bissaka. I like that a lot.
Really?
I'd love to see Ruben Neves in a United shirt. I think United have got to go. We've gone back to our roots a lot with what we've done with Solskjaer. Yeah. I'd like to see us go back to our roots a little bit more and start hoovering up the best talent in the Premier League. Wan-Bissaka, Ruben Neves, top of that list for me.
Indeed, I'd throw in there as well.
It's not a bad shout.
I watched him the other day against Watford, covering every blade of grass. He'd be a good shout.
What score would Paul Ince have won?
I'd say 4 comfortably, maybe.
Yeah,
4 and would have
by half time.
Yeah.
Would we have made? I think we'd actually have made PSG rage quit at half time if Paul Ince was in charge.
They would have
for the first time.
They would have walked out.
They should announce it at the international break. Announce it today. I also think that we owe it to Mulder, to be honest, because Mulder's season starts this month, and I don't think it's fair that we're just umming and ahhing over what we're going to do with our gaffer and what are they going to do, and there's no way that it's going to anybody else apart from Molina. No way whatsoever. There'll be absolute riots.
I think once your players, and I think he was getting the job around 2 months ago anyways. I think within a month of him in there, I think he was pretty much getting it. Once the players love a manager that much and are willing to work around him, even you look at like the likes of Rojo yesterday, who are currently not playing, I don't know what his situation is, we see the passion of him celebrating and that, like the guy, like all these guys, even the ones that aren't getting the minutes. Fred, he went through an unfortunate game. Like he today spoke about it, I think, Ollie, in his post-match, and he was like, seeing how Fred, we're finally seeing what we bought him for, and all the players that he even had doubts about and that he might have. Everyone just wants him there. It's just too perfect for like to even think of getting anyone else.
What if he's mint? It's not even a question anymore, is it? It's more of a statement. It's just.
What if we win the Champions League? That's the big question.
I didn't look at flights this morning for the 1st of June to Madrid.
Oh man, I can't believe it.
Who do you want in the next round? Or who don't you want in the next round? I don't want Ajax.
I don't want Ajax. I don't want Atleti. If Juve managed to somehow go through, I wouldn't mind them because I think we can exploit them, especially the way they've been playing recently. I know that their record's actually good, but anyone who actually watches them understands that they're going to be exploited by a top team. Jose beat them as well away from home, so anything's possible. My 2 teams to avoid will be Atleti and Ajax.
I've just done something for the Sportsman, and I said pretty similar on there, to be honest. I wouldn't fear City, because I actually think the counter-attacking style Ollie's putting together actually matches up quite well with that. If we had everybody fit, and if we do end up drawing them, we draw them in the FA Cup as well, we could play them 4 times in the space of 3 weeks, which would be amazing and minging at the same time.
It's going to be like, like when Barca, Madrid would just get into everything. Like the Copa del Rey, it was like we got 4 El Clasicos towards the end. I don't want it to be like that. To be honest, if we do get City at any point, as long as it's not the final, because I am not watching a final of us against City in the Champions League, I will struggle to watch that.
Madness.
I wouldn't mind Liverpool actually. I genuinely wouldn't mind Liverpool because I think with a full strength side,
I think
which we're not testing them yet with Ali, I think we just dominate them.
Yeah, I think we absolutely go past them. Very interesting, and now actually put back on the old schedule to go and watch the Champions League draw. Now we're going to be in it because I didn't think we was going to be. But thank you from me and from Abdul, from everybody at Full Time Devils. Hope you enjoyed the victory last night. I think everybody did to the fullest extent. I feel hungover from it, honestly. My head was spinning for hours. So thank you guys for watching us. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Let us know if you like this kind of format of a show as well, and we'll see you in the next one. Laters.